say rich, you say king. Rich, king, rich. Not this time. The poorest monarch on this list has a net worth of $2 million, and it's the number 10, King Tupou VI, King of Tonga, net worth $2.1 million. The poorest of all the royals in the world has to be King Tupou VI, that has ruled the Polynesian country and archipelago of Tonga since 2012. But that was 4 years too late. Why? Because the previous King of Tonga, George Tupou V, decided to put an end to the monarchical system. Instead, he promised to consult with the Prime Minister of Tonga and guide his decisions based on the Prime Minister's recommendations. Today, the government of Tonga allocated roughly $2.1 million out of its budget to accommodate the yearly lifestyle of the monarch. The first monarch from the Tupou dynasty to sit on the Tonga throne was George Tupou I. Before him came the families of Tonga from 950 until 1470. Then came the Hatakalau from 1470 until the 1800s. And then came the current Kanakapalo rules, which have sat on the Tonga throne ever since. Number 9. Letsie III, King of Lesotho, net worth $5 million. The royal family of Lesotho has had its fair share of troubles in the past. First of all, King Letsie's father, the previous king, was exiled in 1990. He spent the next 5 years banished from his country before returning to the throne in 1995. However, he tragically and unexpectedly died in a car crash the following year, and Letsie has been inherited the throne. Letsie III is a Catholic, the only Catholic monarch in Africa, and his duties are only ceremonial. Since the country is landlocked as an enclave, it's not as wealthy as some of the other nations. That's why King Letsie III has a net worth of only $2 million. Despite the limited powers, he still uses his title to speak about pressing issues in his country, such as the HIV/AIDS epidemic, which is a serious problem in his country. Number 8. Mswati Tutu II, Ashanti Empire, net worth $10 million. A direct descendant of the 17th century founder of the Ashanti Empire, King Mswati Tutu II has been ruling since 1999. He is currently 72 years old, but he was born and raised in Kumasi, Ashanti region, modern-day Ghana. After attending the University of Professional Studies in Accra, he was accepted at the Polytechnic of North London. He graduated with a diploma in management and administration. Currently, he is smashing that like button just like you should if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, the king is residing at the Menhaya Palace in his town of birth, Kumasi, along with his wife Julia Mswati Tutu and their 7 children. Aside from holding titles like the Sword Bearer for the United Grand Lodge of England and the Chancellor of their University of Science and Technology in 2009, he started the UTIF. This foundation is aimed at helping the monarch's people in the 2 most important areas of their life, their education and their health. Currently, he has a net worth of only $10 million. Number 7. King Felipe, Belgian monarch, net worth $13.12 million. The ruling royal family of Belgium is headed by King Felipe, the 63-year-old monarch who has been on the throne since his father's abdication in 2013. Despite what you might think, this monarch didn't have a carefree childhood. His father Albert and his mother Paola had a bad marriage, and for most of the time, they were absent from Felipe's life. At one point, the child neglect became so worrisome that child psychologists said the boy needed intervention from social workers. However, he still did his duties, and after finishing his education, he was named the head of the BFTB. Inside the Belgian Foreign Trade Board, he was the leader of 60 economic missions. Since ascending to the throne, he has aided the Belgian federal elections in 2014 and even proclaimed that he regrets the acts of violence and cruelty his family committed in Belgian Congo. Number 6. King Felipe VI, Spanish royal family, net worth $18.8 million. While his father Juan Carlos, the previous king of Spain, was known for his opulence and wealth, King Felipe VI is different. His father was even accused of money laundering at one point, because the Spanish knew he had accumulated hundreds of millions of dollars while in power. However, King Felipe's net worth stands at a modest $18.8 million. Some estimates go as low as 2.6 million euros. which tells us just how different he is from his father. In fact, that's one of the reasons King Felipe decided not to grow his wealth. He didn't want his name to be dragged alongside the rest of the wealthy royal families of Europe, so he settled down and now enjoys a life of modesty. He was the first king of Spain to publicly declare his wealth, and now it's mandatory for another monarch to do the same. Number 5. King Harald V, Royal House of Norway, net worth $28.2 million. He is one of the oldest monarchs in the world. Harald V holds the title of smashing that subscribe button just like you should if you haven't done so already. But no, seriously now. He holds the title of King of Norway, and he's 86 years old. He was born before the start of the Second World War, which is why he had to flee the country from 1940 until 1945, spending most of his childhood in Sweden and the USA. He might look old now, but in his prime, he was an Olympic sailor and represented Norway in 1964, 1968, and 1972. Even after becoming king in 1991, his aspiration didn't decline. Besides performing his royal duties, he has also become the first monarch to visit Antarctica in 2015. Number 4. Queen Margaret II, Royal House of Denmark, net worth $37.6 million. In 2022, Queen Margaret II of Denmark celebrated her Golden Jubilee. She has been on the throne since January 14th of 1972, making her the longest ruling monarch after Queen Elizabeth II. Also, she is the only queen regnant in the world at the moment. The queen has been doing her job flawlessly over the past 50 years, which is why 825 of the country's population supports their queen. Number 3. Mswati III, Swazi royal family, net worth $50 million. The current king of Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland. He has been on the throne since April 25, 1986, and he is only 54 years old. This means he became king at the age of only 18. At the time of his coronation, he was the youngest ruling monarch in the world. Now, while you might think that a net worth of $50 million is not a lot, he is the king of a country where most of the people live on only $1.25 per day. Also, he has been in the spotlight for his practice of polygamy, and even though only 2 wives are appointed by the state, he currently has 15 wives in his palace. Number 2. King Harald XVI Gustav, Swedish royal family, net worth $65.7 million. King Harald XVI Gustav has been heading the Swedish throne since September 15, 1973. The 76-year-old ruler was the only child of Prince Gustav Adolf of Sweden. However, because his father tragically passed away in an airplane accident in 1947, just a year after Karl's birth, he immediately became the second in line. He inherited the throne from his grandfather, Gustav VI Adolf. However, ever since he came into power, all of his executive power was stripped. Currently, he is only fulfilling his ceremonial duties while being informed about the affairs of the state on a regular basis. Number 1. Ooni of Ife, Nigerian ruler of the Yoruba people, net worth $75 million. Uba is the 51st Ooni of Ife after he ascended to the throne near the end of 2015. Some elders say that his birth was predicted well before he was even conceived. The current ruler of the Yoruba kingdom has graduated with an accounting degree from the Polytechnic at Ibadan. As the ruler of the country, he is a member of the Global Real Estate Institute and is an associate accounting technician. Also, he is the chancellor at the University of Nigeria, where he got his doctorate in public administration. See you in the next video.